Hello everyone, myself Gurchan Singh Makheja on the behalf of Narayana Institute. Today we will discuss 28 January's afternoon shift JEE Mains chemistry paper. Hope all of you have done very nicely and this video will give a nice information for you regarding the paper. So let me start from the question number 1 in chemistry, right? Now the question number 1 says that is a stoichiometry question. Concentrated nitric acid is labeled as 75% by mass, right? And the volume in ml of the solution which contain 30 gram of nitric acid you have to calculate. It's a very simple question, and a basic stoichiometry is involved over there. So we'll solve this question. We understand how to solve this question, right? Now assume the volume of solution is xml, right? And we have already density of the solution. So the mass of solution will be equal to volume into density. Now this is the overall mass of the solution. And here it says that we have 75% by mass of HNO3 and we require 30 gram of nitric acid. So this is the mass of solution and 75% of this mass should be the mass of HNO3 which we require, and that is 30 grams, right? So we'll solve it. X will be equal to 30 divided by 75 by 100 into 1.25. So after solving this, there will be 3, this will be 4. So we'll be getting 40 by 1.25. That comes out to be 32 ml. 32 ml. Hope you have understood this solution. It's a very basic stoichiometric question, and in this JEE mains shift we have seen a lot of question came from stoichiometry chapter. So for next mains shift that will happen in April, please focus on that chapter properly, right? So we'll start with second question. The purification method based on the following physical transformation is: solid, when you heat it will become vapor, and vapor when you cool it will give solid. Obviously the process is sublimation, where when you heat solid it will become vapors and leaving behind there some impurities, and again you will condense those vapors, you will get your solid back. So this transformation is known as sublimation. So it is a straightforward question. So all of you might know all this process, right? So no need to go in depth for that, right? We'll move to next question. Now this is a very interesting question, right? And it says that an ideal gas undergoes a cyclic transformation starting from a point A and coming back to the same point, tracing A, B, C, D, again A. Now it's a cyclic process and we are coming to the same point again from A to A. As shown in the three cases above, choose the correct option regarding delta U. Now friends, we know that U, that is internal energy, is a state function. And when initial and final point is same, then we know that du will be exactly equal to 0. So this is a tricky question which they have changed the shape of the curves, and again we are getting the same point A. So obviously the answer should be 2, where the delta U of case 1, case 2 and case 3 exactly same, and comes out to be 0. Hope you understood this solution. So we'll move ahead, right? Which of the following are not correct with respect to energy of atomic orbital of hydrogen atom? Now this is a very straightforward question, but student has made mistakes in that question because in the hurry they didn't read not properly, so they marked it correct statements over there. So better read the question properly before answering it, right? And for mono electronic atom we know that energy is only a function of shell number. So we know that for hydrogen atom 1s energy is lesser than 2s, which is equal to 2p, is lesser than 3s, which is equal to 3p, which is equal to 3d, and so on. Correct. So we'll just follow this particular order. Now option A, 1s is less than 2p, is less than 3d, is less than 4s. That is correct because obviously shell number is increasing, so energy should increase. That is correct. 1s is less than 2s is equal to 2p, is less than, this is also correct. Now C option, 1s is less than 2s is less than 2p should be equal to 2p, and 1s is less than 2s is less than 3s, 4s, and 4s should be greater than 3d. So option C and D, they are not correct. That is why the correct option should be 1, that is C and D, right? Hope you understood this part, and please read the question properly. Now this is a question number 55. We have challenged this question because the data which is given in the question and the answer which we are getting, they are not matching, right? So neither 1, 2, 3, 4 is matching with the given options over there or given data in the question, right? So we'll solve this question once. You will understand how to solve this at least. Now a living cell, you know that a living cell you have, right? In this living cell you do have a concentration of 0.9 weight by weight, 0.9% weight by weight. Now if this is isotonic with the outer environment of the blood, so it is not swelling, it is not getting shrink. Now what we are doing, we are putting this cell into a solution which contain glucose and water solution, right? And they have said that they have same mole fraction, that means half and half. Getting it? Sure. So here you have 0.9% weight by weight glucose solution inside, equivalent glucose solution inside. Now we should understand that if the concentration of the environment is higher, the liquid will move from, or the solvent will flow from a lower concentration region to a higher concentration region, the cell will shrink. If the concentration of outside is lower, the solvent should go inside the cell and the cell should burst, right? So you have to check whether the concentration outside is higher or lower, right? So it's very simple. If the number of moles are same, so take half mole. So you'll come to know that glucose half mole is equal to 90 grams and half mole of water is equal to 9 grams. So total mass of solution comes out to be 99 grams. So what is the weight by weight percentage of glucose? Mass of glucose divided by mass of solution, that into 100. So nearly 90% of glucose is there. That means the concentration of glucose outside by weight is 90% and inside is 0.9%. So obviously outside concentration of glucose is very large, and yeah, the water should flow from inside to the outside. So yeah, cells should shrink, but the data 0.5 weight by weight, 0.45 weight by weight is not correct because outside concentration is very large. So this question will be given as bonus to all the students, right? Getting a point? So all of you who have challenged this question or the student who attempted this shift will get bonus in that particular question because the options are not matching with the answers, right? Hope you understood this, and I have shown a very simple way how to calculate weight by weight percentage, right? We'll move ahead. Question number 56, identify product ABC in the following reaction sequences. Now you have an alkyne, you are reducing alkyne to form something A and you are doing ozonolysis of A, right? Now the question is very simple, straightforward question. This time in organic, most of the question are very straightforward, right? So this is one of them. If you reduce with the help of palladium carbon and hydrogen, an alkyne becomes an alkene, right? So after getting reduction, you are doing ozonolysis, and that too reductive ozonolysis in the presence of zinc water. Just do the ozonolysis over here. The molecule double bond will break and you will get a carbonyl compounds. So you will get a set of formaldehyde and acetaldehyde. So the correct answer for this question should be 3. It's a quite straightforward question. So all of you would have done it nicely. Everyone knows this thing. This is a very basic question, came from hydrocarbon chapters of 11th standard, right? Very simple question. So we'll move ahead. Now the total number of compounds from below when treated with hot KMNO4 gives benzoic acid. Now there exists some ambiguity inside the question, right? They have given answer as 5, but answer can be both 5 or 6 depending on the medium of KMNO4 which we are using. If it is alkaline, then it's fine. If it is acidic, then there might be a possibility of another molecule to become benzoic acid. So we'll check. See, we very well know that whenever a benzene molecule has a carbon which have at least one hydrogen, so this molecule, you can have this molecule, you can have this molecule, again you can have this molecule, you don't have an hydrogen over here, right, and you can have this molecule. They are straightforward correct answer. So they will give you benzoic acid on treatment with hot KMNO4. But the thing is, in one case, when suppose acidic medium is there, so this molecule can undergo an elimination reaction first to form, and you know KMNO4 will oxidize this molecule directly to benzoic acid. So yeah, the most appropriate answer should be 5, but if in acidic medium it is given, so answer can be 5 or 6, right. Hope you understood the solution of this question. Yeah, at this sometime there exists some ambiguous question in JEE mains, right. So we should always follow the general pathway, right. So generally which is given in the NCERT, the general perspective will follow to answer the question, right. So we'll move ahead with next question. Arrange the following in increasing order of the solubility product. Now this question is actually a database question. If you know qualitative analysis, if you know qualitative analysis properly, then you can answer it, right. Now we know that sulfides like HGS solubility is very low as compared to lead sulfide. So this data is quite there in qualitative analysis when you do the group wise analysis of cations, right. So yeah, we know that HGS is much lesser soluble than PBS, and we know that calcium hydroxide solubility is not very low, it's appreciable. I know it's a weak base, but yeah, the solubility is appreciable, so it will give adequate amount of OH minus. So by this relevant data which is there generally in the student mind, so they can directly answer the question. And yeah, according to the question, the solubility of calcium hydroxide should be highest and it should be more than AgBr, and sulfides are very less soluble, so it should be like PBS, and PBS is more soluble than your HGS. So correct answer is supposed to be 4. Getting it? So it's a database question. If a student has done some qualitative analysis and has read certain aspects of hydroxide, then he can answer it in a very easy way, right. So we'll move ahead. Question number 59, right. Now there are two statements which is given over there. Statement 1, according to the law of octaves, the elements were arranged in the increasing order of atomic number. Atomic number is a concept which Moseley has invented after Mendeleev, right. So when the primitive time was there, when law of octaves was there, then we always play with atomic masses, not with atomic numbers. So the statement is not correct. If yeah, it is atomic mass, then it will be fine. Now Lauder Mayer observed a periodically repeated pattern upon the plotting physical properties of certain element against their respective atomic number, again not atomic number. He did some observation based on atomic masses, and he plotted a graph between physical properties and atomic masses, right. So it was not based on atomic number, it was based on atomic mass. So statement 1, and statement 2 clearly is incorrect, right? So the answer is supposed to be 4, and it's direct question from periodic properties. Everyone would have done it correctly if they have read it properly, right? So I guess we'll move ahead with the questions. Now question number 60. Identify correct statement primary amines. So it's related with amines, right? Generally with the test of amines, which I can see. Yeah, we'll generally with the test of amines, how amine respond to various tests. So we'll discuss. Now primary amines do not give diazonium salt when treated with NaNO2 in acidic condition. Okay. Aliphatic and aromatic primary amines on heating with CHCl3 and ethanolic KOH form carbylamine. This is standard carbylamine test given only by primary amines. Secondary and tertiary amine also give no, only primary amine gives. Benzene sulfonyl chloride is known as Hinsberg reagent. Okay, that is correct. Tertiary amines with benzene sulfonyl chloride with very easily. No, it doesn't react with benzene sulfonyl chloride very easily. Tertiary amine cannot, right? So yeah, B option and D option is clearly correct, right? So the answer is supposed to be your B and D. The very standard question, very simple question on amines, and this time they have asked a lot of questions from amines chapter based on diazonium coupling and all, right? So please focus on that chapter thoroughly while giving the next JEE mains attempt. Getting it? So we'll move ahead. 61 question. Now the major product of following reaction is a very beautiful question, very nice question, and you should make the most stable compound, most stable alkene over there. So this is alcoholic KOH, and we know that alcoholic KOH will undergo elimination reaction, which is E2 elimination, right? So everyone will give E2 elimination over here. Now understand, first I should get alkene over this position. Why? Because if a partial pi bond is forming, that partial pi bond should get stabilized by resonance done by benzene ring. So the initial elimination should take place over here. Getting it? And yeah, as I'm getting a pi bond on this particular carbon, the second elimination should take place in this direction, and I'll get a pi bond which will be in conjugation with the initially formed pi bond. So the product of this elimination reaction is, I'll get an alkene over here initially, then a single bond, then I'll get a double bond over here, then carbon, right? Now he is asking me the IUPAC of that particular compound, right? So IUPAC give lowest number to double bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the second position you do have a phenyl group, right? And the word root is hept. So the answer should be 2 phenyl, hepta, A will be retained, hepta, 2, comma 4, diene. Clearly option number 4. So it's a very nice question, and I like this question because without forming initial pi bond you cannot find the stable position of other pi bond. So yeah, you have to do elimination step by step, where you have to find out where the elimination takes place initially, right? So we'll move ahead. Next question is 62. Now very simple question of organic chemistry again. So question number 62, we have these two molecules and it is isomeric compounds. Now understand one thing, degree of unsaturation of this compound is 1, degree of unsaturation of this compound is 1, the number of carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number of carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, degree of unsaturation is same, number of carbon atoms is same, obviously they are isomers, right? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 nitrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again 1 nitrogen. This is primary amine and this is secondary amine, and primary amine and secondary amine are structural isomers, but they are functional isomers, right? So primary amine and secondary amine, tertiary amine, they are considered as different functional groups. So we'll read the statement now. In the light of above statement, choose the correct answer from the given options below. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Statement 1 says isomeric compound, statement 2 says functional group isomers. Both statements are correct, so answer should be 1. Hope you understood this question, and keep in mind. Hope you understood this question, and keep in mind that primary amine and secondary amine and tertiary amine, they are considered as different functional groups, right? Now question number 63, right? Now this is a direct question from biomolecules, right? And they are talking about the linkages which is occurring between the different carbohydrates over here. Now we have option A, sucrose, and you know that sucrose is a non-reducing sugar where the first carbon of glucose, which is alpha, is bonded with the second carbon of fructose, right? So what is the linkage over there? Alpha 1 of glucose and beta 2 of fructose, right? So answer should be here. A is R. Clearly R. Maltose is a disaccharide of glucose where glucose units are forming or joined together by alpha 1,4 linkages only. So obviously P is a reducing sugar. Lactose is made from galactose and glucose, where galactose, beta galactose is forming a linkage from 1 to 4 position. So yeah, the linkage will be beta 1 to 4 position, which is S. And amylopectin, you have this coil type structure where it is forming bond with between glucose at 1,4 alpha linkages and 1,6 alpha linkages, right? So this is Q. So the answer for this question, very straightforward question. The answer for this question is 2. Hope you have done it correctly, because this information is present in NCERT nicely, right? Question number 64. Identify correct conversion during acidic hydrolysis from the following. Again, biomolecule question. 2 straightforward question came from biomolecules, right? Starch gives galactose. No, it gives glucose. Starch is a polymer of glucose. Cane sugar give equal amount of glucose and fructose, that you have done easily. Milk sugar, which is lactose, gives glucose and galactose. 100% correct. Just now in the previous question we have done that. In amylopectin gives glucose and fructose. No, amylopectin is made only from glucose, right? Amylose is only glucose. That is correct. Starch contain amylose and amylopectin, both are made from glucose, right? So which all options are correct according to the given question? That is B option and C option and E option. So the correct answer is 4. And then again, straightforward question, you would have done it nicely, right? And is direct question from biomolecules. So biomolecule, this time they have asked nice question and direct question, so the plus point. Now this question, the answer given by JEE mains is not correct, right? I guess by mistake they have taken ammonium sulfide as yellow ammonium sulfide, and in fact yellow ammonium sulfide is NH4 whole twice S2. So I guess this mistake NT has done in this. That is why the answer which NT has given and the answer which we are getting is quite different. This is according to the actual data. Ammonium sulfide is actually white, right? PBS CUS is black. AS2S3 and AS2S5 both are yellow. So actually D and E should be the correct answer, that is answer A, and NT is providing the key, that is ADE, which is not correct, because again I am again telling you that ammonium sulfide is taken as yellow ammonium sulfide by NT, and there is a mistake, right? So correct answer should be 1, right? Hope you understood the confusion which happened in this particular question, right? We will move ahead. The product B in the following reaction sequence is, now here I have HCl and I have a pi bond. So the classical example of electrophilic addition reaction, right? So we know that whenever you have a benzene ring and you do have a pi bond, and this pi bond you're adding HCl. So first H plus attack on this pi bond will shift over here, result in the formation of this carbocation. Now in this carbocation, the nucleophile will undergo nucleophilic addition reaction. Right. After nucleophilic addition reaction, it results in the formation of a compound, and later on we are reacting it with AgCN. You know that AgCN will undergo nucleophilic attack from its nitrogen center. So Ag C triple bond N, this new nitrogen will attack from the back side and this Cl minus will leave. So the answer of this question is, here you will get NC isocyanide, and here at the para position you will have CH3. So the correct answer is 2. Hope all of you have attempt this question nicely and all of you would have got correct answer, right? So we will move ahead. Now the question number 67, for bacterial growth in a cell culture, growth law is very similar to the law of radioactive decay. That is first order reaction. For growth, the colony or the number of cells keeps on increasing. The radioactive decay, the number of atoms keeps on, or radioactive nuclei keeps on decaying, or keeps on decomposing, but both are following first law. So this is the primary difference between decay and growth. Decay means decrease in number of atoms, growth means increase in number of atoms, right? Which of the following is the most suitable represent bacterial colony growth, where n is number of bacteria at any time t. Okay, fine, and not an initial number of bacteria, right? So apply first law, minus dn by dt, sorry, is plus dn by dt, because it is increase or growth, should be equal to k into n. So it should be dn by n should be equal to k dt. Now integrated. At time t is equal to 0, it should be n naught. At time t is equal to t, should be n. So I will get ln n by n naught is equal to kt, and yeah, n should be equal to n naught e raised to power kt. So there should be an exponential growth, and only one graph is there which shows an exponential growth, that is 3. N by n naught is equal to e raised to power kt. It's a very nice question. Only one difference: in growth, number of atom increases; in decay, number of nuclei decreases, right? Okay, we will move to next question. Hope you would have understood that, right? Question number 68. Consider an elementary reaction A plus B gives C and D if the volume is an elementary reaction. Okay, so for an elementary reaction which is a single step reaction, order is equal to molecularity, right? So A plus B gives C and D. If it is bimolecular reaction, so order will be 2, correct? If the volume of the reaction mixture is suddenly reduced to 1 by 3 of its initial volume, the reaction rate will become x times of the original reaction rate. So what is the value of x? Now listen, very simple question. Now according to rate law, rate should be equal to rate constant k into concentration of A raised to power 1, concentration of B raised to power 1, right? And if the final volume will become equal to 1 by 3 times the initial volume, then the final concentration will become 3 times the initial concentration, right? So initial rate can be written as k into A initial, B initial, final rate Rf is equal to k, rate constant doesn't change by change in volume, it depends on temperature, A final, B final, right? Now Rf bar Ri should be equal to, k will get cancelled, and we know this 3 times the initial thing, so 3 into 3 comes out to be 9. So the correct answer is 9. Even though we don't require pen and paper to solve it, you can solve this question in your brain itself while reading the question itself. It's a very simple question, right? And this kind of models you have already done many times in your practice sessions. So we'll move ahead. The amphoteric oxide among V2O3, V2O4, V2O5 upon reaction with alkali leads to the formation of an oxide anion. The oxidation state of V in the oxide anion is nothing is understand a very simple thing. V2O5 is an amphoteric oxide clearly given in D block of NCRT, and they have clearly mentioned that when V2O5 undergo reaction in basic medium in hydrolyzed to give VO4 3 minus. So in VO4 3 minus, the oxidation state of vanadium clearly is +5. So answer is 3. Straightforward D block question. So this time again many straightforward question came from D block, F block, P block, periodic properties, chemical bonding. Many straightforward question came in this session. So please focus on these particular question because they'll give you direct marks in the examination, right? Question number 70. This is a complex coordination compound question, right? Now obviously very simple question again. Now cobalt, the oxidation state of cobalt is 3 plus, right? The oxidation state of nickel is 2 plus. The oxidation state of cobalt again 3 plus, and oxidation of nickel is 2 plus. Now the electronic configuration of cobalt 3 plus is 3d6, for nickel 2 plus is 3d8, for cobalt 3 plus again 3d6, for nickel 2 plus 3d8, right. Now if I write down the orbital picture diagram, this is 3d, this is 4s, this is 4p, 4s, 4p, 4s, 4p, 4s, 4p. Now here I have a fluoride which is a very weak field ligand, right? Fluoride is a very weak field ligand, pairing doesn't take place. So I'll write D6 as it is without any pairing. So pairing doesn't take place. The electron will go in the outermost orbitals, which is sp3d2. Right. For nickel chlorine, D8 is there. Again chloride is a weak field ligand, pairing won't takes place. So I'll get 2 unpaired electrons over there. The 4 halogen, a direct NCERT question. Example is given in NCERT. Again this is sp3. This is sp3d2. Here cobalt, ammonia is a strong field ligand. What will happen? The pairing takes place, and after the pairing takes place, you will get 2 vacant orbitals. That is this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So hybridization comes out to be D2sp3. Quite straightforward question. And Ni, again pairing takes place. This will undergo pairing, this will undergo pairing, this will undergo pairing, this will undergo pairing, and the hybridization will become dsp2. So a very straightforward question, and all the examples are direct from NCERT. The very plus point about this question, and everything is from NCERT. So yeah, we'll match this thing. The first A comes out to be sp3d2, that is R. B comes out to be your sp3, that is Q. R, Q, no other option is matching over there. Obviously other will be, answer will be 2, correct. Hope you understood this question nicely. Straightforward coordination compound from NCERT chapter. Straightforward examples are given to you. Nice question. We'll move ahead. Now question number 71 is an integer. The spin only magnetic moment, that is in Bohr magneton, of the compound with the strongest oxidizing power among Mn2O3, TiO and VO. The E0 value, the strongest oxidizing agent over here is Mn2O3. It's clear cut given in your D block chapter of class 12th, right. So if you have Mn2O3, so you do have Mn3 plus ion. The electronic configuration of manganese is 4s2 3d5, and Mn3 plus comes out to be 3d4. So I do have 4 unpaired electrons. After 4 unpaired electrons, so magnetic moment defined as root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. So put n is equal to 4, you will get 6 into 4 root of 24 Bohr magneton. Root of 24 Bohr magneton, he is saying nearest integer. So root of 24 comes out to be nearly 5, right. 71 is 5. Next, the total number of molecules slash species from the following which will be paramagnetic is. Now listen, straightforward question from chemical bonding and the direct application of MOT is there. Some compound of coordination compounds are given to you and standard examples are there, right. So you have oxygen, you have O2 plus, you have O2 minus, you have NO and you have NO2, right. According to MOT, you have two unpaired electrons in O2. In O2 plus, you have one unpaired electron. In O2 minus, again you have one unpaired electron. In NO, one unpaired electron. In NO2, according to VBT, you have one unpaired electron. Okay. So this is paramagnetic. In NiCl4, in the previous example, you know that it do have two unpaired electrons. And in cobalt 3 plus with ammonia as a ligand, pairing takes place. So pairing takes place and you do have 0 unpaired electrons. 0 unpaired electrons. And NiCN4 again pairing takes place, 0 unpaired electrons. All of them are standard questions or standard example. So number of atoms or molecular species which will have paramagnetic behavior, that means it should have unpaired electrons. So O2, O2 plus, O2 minus and NO2, NiCl4. The answer should be 6. Correct. Right, again chemical bonding, coordination compound, they formulated an integer out of it. So I again repeat myself that MOT, chemical bonding, coordination compound, they are very important topics, right. Question number 73. Now is the question directly from electrochemistry and a very nice question. Okay. The electrolysis of 600 ml of solution of NaCl for 5 minutes changes the pH of the solution to 12. The current in amperes used for the given electrolysis is, so you have to find out this. Now understand the question, we will do it on our own way. So when you do electrolysis of NaCl, right, so Cl minus will come out as half Cl2 plus electron at anode, and among Na plus and water, water will undergo reduction, right. So if you reduce water, H plus will gain an electron and become hydrogen gas plus OH minus. Getting a point? OH minus. Now understand one thing, for 1 Faraday you are having 1 mole of OH minus. Understand this particular thing. Okay? And the pH is 12, that means POH should be equal to 2 and OH minus final concentration which we want is 10 to the power minus 2 according to question. So I want final concentration of OH minus 10 to the minus 2 which is equal to number of moles of OH divided by volume of solution in liter, and volume of solution is given as 600 ml. So volume of solution in liter is 0.6. So number of moles of OH minus which we want or which we will get is 6 into 10 to the minus 3. Now number of moles of OH minus which I require is 6 into 10 to the minus 3, and to get 6 into 10 to the minus 3 moles of OH minus, the same amount of Faraday charge you require over here. Okay. So the charge which you require here is 6 into 10 to the minus 3 into 96500 coulomb, and that charge should be equal to IT, that is 6 into 10 to the minus 3 into 96500 should be equal to current into time. Time is 5 minutes, this is 5 into 60. The current value comes out to be 6 into 10 to the minus 3 into 96500 divided by 5 into 60. So this is 10, this is this, and 10 to the minus 3 comes out to be 9.65 divided by 5. So 1.93 ampere, so approximately 2. So the answer over here which we require should be equal to 2. Hope you understood. This is the simplest way to solve this question rather than application of direct formula is equal to that is W is equal to ZIT. I am not applying this formula. So when we can get the answer in a very simple way, we will use that simple way, right. So we will move ahead to the next question, thermochemistry question, right. Consider the following data. Heat of formation of carbon dioxide is given to you, heat of formation of water liquid is given to you, heat of combustion of benzene is given to you, the heat of formation of benzene you require. Getting it? Now understand one thing. For any reaction, delta H value should be equal to summation of enthalpy of formation of product my summation of enthalpy of formation of reactant. So yeah, formation is given to me. I'll write combustion reaction of benzene, right. So the combustion reaction of benzene is C6H6 liquid plus oxygen gas gives me carbon dioxide gas plus H2O liquid. 6 carbon, 6 CO2, 3 H2O, balance oxygen 16, 12 plus 3, 15, the 15 by 2. Right. Now understand one thing, delta H of this reaction is given to me as minus 3267, right. Enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide is negative 393 and yeah, for water is negative 286.0. So delta H of combustion, that is, should be equal to summation of enthalpy of formation of products minus summation of enthalpy of formation of reactants. So it comes out to be how much? 6. It comes out to be how much? 6 into minus 393.5 plus 3 into minus 286.0 minus enthalpy of formation of benzene should be equal to minus 3 to minus 3267. So if I solve this question, I will get delta H of formation of benzene comes out to be 48 kilojoules per mole. So the answer for this question is 48 and is correct. It's very simple question. Yeah, some calculation is required. So you should have a calm mind during attempt this question, right. So we'll move ahead with the next and last question of this particular paper. A group 15 element form d pi bonds, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Nitrogen only forms p pi, not p pi d pi. These elements can form d pi bonds. And it also form hydride, which is the strongest base among the hydrides of its group elements, right. Obviously, on going down the group, acidic character of hydrides increases. So if I am talking about phosphine, arsine, stibine, bismuthine, or phosphane, arsane, stibane and bismuthane, that is analogous to alkane. So on going down the group, acidic character increases. Hence, phosphine supposed to be the most basic of all. The answer, the atomic number of the element which you want is 15, phosphorus. Hope you understood each and every question properly, the solution properly, and you should understand one more thing, what are the important chapters which they have asked, and you should understand the level of question they are asking. Analyze the entire JEE main series, and I telling you I'll just give you my blessings, all the best for the next session and do well. Thank you.